Dear George and Luke, I've hidden my relationship for 3 years because Mum will hate our age gap.
Ah,
This is
it's
it.
an interesting one.
I know, right? So, my family doesn't know that I've been in a relationship for 3 years with someone 17 years older than me.
Yeah, go on, my son. That's what I want to hear.
They think I'm living with an older colleague. I'm 29 and my boyfriend's 46.
Oh, this is a woman talking.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is not that unusual. I was thinking that
No,
this is a
not
guy
unusual.
going out with, you know, a bit of a cougar. Yeah, have it, son. But all right, so it's really, really common and normal for women to be attracted to men older than them. And I'm going to let you carry on in
Thank
just a
God
minute.
for that, George.
But let's, yeah. But if you go a little bit back through history, you know, that thing we'll call history, HISTRY, you know, history, you will see that something like Gone with the Wind, right? That character she's supposed to be about 16, Scarlett, you know, the beautiful Scarlett. And look who she falls in love with, Clark Gable, right? Who's about 70 in that movie, you know, he's 40 something. Oh. But that was a common thing, you know, all those movie stars were older men, you know, Clark Gable, James, whatever his name is, James Stewart, they're all grey hair. So it was kind of normal, and women back then would carry postcards in their wallets of their favourite film stars, usually Clark Gable, who were much, much older men. And so first of all, don't feel any strangeness and confusion or, oh my God, is there something wrong with me? Because there isn't, because what you're doing is you're looking for somebody with wisdom who can protect you, who's got life experience, and you're much more likely to feel safe and secure with someone that much older than you than someone who's the same age. Your mother, of all people, is going to understand that because she's a woman, and her generation was a little less silly, let's say, or prudish around the idea of a woman going out with somebody more mature. And I'm quite sure that she will completely and utterly understand, because she's a lady.
So
she's a lady.
George, should I not get to the end of the story?
No, I want to hear the rest of it, but
Okay.
you know,
Right.
if you're hesitant and curious, watch Gone with the Wind, or read it, even better.
I know my mum would love him if she could look past the age gap, but she's always had a strong opinion against these sort of relationships.
Okay, I'm wrong about your mum, but don't worry about it. Listen to me, it's all fine, it's all good.
In her eyes, the younger women are gold diggers and the older men are perverts.
Well, you can't win then, can you?
No, exactly.
I mean, does that mean she thinks you're a gold digger?
Well, apparently
She's
so.
like, oh, you disgusting daughter of
Got your
mine's a gold
spade
digger.
out, digging away.
Digging out gold. Get back into the mine.
When her sister dated someone 11 years older, my mum refused to meet him. She said, I don't want to get involved in that mess. Really? That's a bit strong, isn't it? The issue is that my partner and I want to start a family together in the next year. We can't exactly keep it a secret.
Nah, listen, if it was like, if you introduced Tom Selleck to your mum, she'd be like, oh my God, Tom, oh my God, I love you,
Tommy.
Magnum P.I. himself. She'd be all over him. She wouldn't believe it. If you brought Brad Pitt home with you, he's in his 50s now, isn't he? She'd be like, oh my God, my daughter's going out with Brad Pitt. I'm so impressed. So she's being silly because she's judging someone who she hasn't met, she doesn't know, she knows nothing about them. If she really actually knew something about them and got to understand how this person cares about you, she'd shift a little bit. So yeah, she's clinging to her own imaginings, which we shouldn't do sometimes. Sometimes we should. Sometimes it's good to cling to your imaginings, but not when they hurt you and they push people away from you.
Well, this is it.
The wrong people.
So she finally says, what's the best way to go about this? We're desperate to avoid a big fallout.
Well, if you really, really, really want a solution, all you have to do is tell your mum that he's 26. And when she meets him, she'll go, bloody hell, he's an old-looking 26. So you go, yeah, he is. I know, I like it. He's all rugged. He's like a real man, isn't he? And she'll be like, I guess he is. You'll be like, yeah, I wish 26-year-olds, they all look like boys now, don't they? Not him. Yeah, he's got that lovely grey hair. Fantastic. He's got those weathered kind of wrinkles in his face, a bit like Clint Eastwood. You know, real man. Charles Bronson I got. 26-year-old, perfectly handsome, beautiful, beautiful male. And there you go, problem solved. And then when your mum loves him and goes, fucking hell, he's fantastic. Oh, he's got a great sense of humour. He's so smart. How'd you get to be so smart? Only 26 years old. Then, when you're married, say, oh, by the way, he's like 17 years older than I am. And oh, sorry, it's slip of the tongue.
Don't lie about the age. The way I see it, right? The way I see it, George, listen. If your mum can't get over the fact that there's an age gap between you, in fact, obviously you guys are in love. You guys, you guys have been together. You guys want to have a kid together, for God's sake. So it's clearly not a flash in the pan relationship. This is a proper relationship, George. We're not talking about flashes in the pan.
I was trying to work out what a flash in the pan actually is.
No, that's why I said it twice. Because I knew you were trying to work it out.
That pan, I think I saw a flash. No, it wasn't a flash in the pan. No, it was. I saw the pan flash. Look. Either it was or it wasn't. What does it matter? It doesn't matter.
You know what it means, George, right? You know exactly what it means. You know what the phrase means,
Put the phone down, go and turn the pan off. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to cause a fire, you are.
At the end of the day, if she can't accept your partner, the guy that you're in love with,
she can't accept your flash in the pan relationship.
She needs to move.
She needs to get out of the pan.
Your mum needs to move on. Your mum needs to open her mind. At the end of the day, why has your mum got such a weird issue with this?
Open her mind. Bring her into the bedroom, right? When you and your future husband are having a fantastic night and things are getting really, really beautifully amorous in the best possible way, and your clothes are off and maybe you've got some baby oil and you're like, yeah, put the nice mood light on so that I can see you looking all glimmering and shiny and perfect, like you were carved out of heaven itself. Then bring your mum in, let her have a go, right? And then she'll be like, blimey, he's fantastic, isn't he? Oh my God, he's making me feel things I haven't felt for years. Fantastic. She'll get all hypnotised and wonderfully drawn to him. And then before you know it, you'll be like, no, mum, he's mine. He's mine. He might be closer to your age, but he's mine. And that'll certainly work. My
lovely, lovely fella. You need to find your own fella, mother. You haven't mentioned whether your mama has got a papa around. I don't know, maybe she's lonely. Maybe
it sounds like she's concerned about him meeting the mum rather than anything else. But yeah, listen.
It just seems very odd.
It's completely normal. There's nothing unusual about women liking men older than them. And your mum needs to deal with it, and that's the end of that. And if she loves you, then she's going to have to deal with it. If she wants to have a relationship with you, if she wants to be grandmother to your children, she's going to have to deal with it, and there's no choice. So treat it like pulling off a plaster. Just pull it off and be like, I'm going to introduce you to my man. I wasn't looking for somebody older than me, but I met someone older than me and he's just the person I get along with. If she's got a problem with it, show her that episode of Friends where Monica falls in love with Tom Selleck, right?
Love that episode.
And he's about 20 years older than Monica.
I fell in love with Tom Selleck in that episode too. Did we all not?
I've been in love with Tom Selleck ever since the day I was born, let's be honest. I would hide in that moustache if I could. I would make a bed out of it. I would just lie there and feel the wonderful warm breath of his nose cascading over my body. It'd be fantastic. And the way I imagine that he'd sort of have a low tremble in his voice, sort of that it'd be like being next to a hearth at a fireplace. Yeah, baritone, Tom Selleck. Show her that episode of Friends. And show her the whole arc. There's about 4 or 5 episodes when Monica falls in love with Tom Selleck, just like all the other ones do.
She doesn't want any more. He doesn't want any kids.
He doesn't want kids because he already had them. And then you can say to your mum, listen, right?
He hasn't got any.
In the television program. This beautiful relationship has to end because Monica wants children, but Tom Selleck already has children who are already grown up and he doesn't want any more. And so that wonderful, blissful romance that millions of people sat at home and watched with bating breath, chewing their fingernails, eyes wide, ears pricked up to find out what would happen, right? All of us in just a shambles and tears that these two people are falling apart because he doesn't want children and she does. Well, guess what? You've got the fairy tale. You've got the happy ending. You've got everything that every single Friends fan all around the world wanted, hoped for, dreamed of, yearned for. If only Tom Selleck could have stayed in the show, it would have been fantastic, even better than it was. So you can show that to your mum and go, look, you see that fairy tale on TV that never had the happy ending? I've got it. I've got it, right? I've got Tom Selleck. He's at home right now, tied to the bed, waiting for me to come back. I'm going to swim in his chest hair. It's going to be delicious. See you later, man.
Problem solved!
Hey, you there. I've got some really exciting special news. If you're interested in all the kind of things that we talked about in that video just there, you're going to love this. There it is. Look at that. It's written by me. It's called A Cure for Loneliness, as you can see right there. And I spent about a year of my life writing it to make sure that it would be good and fun and accurate and entertaining and all those things that make something, worthwhile. And I'm extremely excited to say that people have actually responded really well and they've been reading it all over the world. I've gotten reviews from people who say that they've read it twice. Somebody actually wrote to me recently to say that he'd read it 3 times. I was flattered if anyone had read it once, but to read it 3 times. Some excerpts of things that people have written to me about it are, it's a great and fun read, not the tedious intellectual kind. For me personally, this was a reminder that reading can be an awesome pastime. A lot of books are boring as fuck, but not this one. Thanks very much. And anyway, those are only the first responses that I got. Quite recently, somebody wrote to me from China and said that he's now in a relationship with a girl he met on a train, all he says because he read this book, and he said that it inspired him to go over to a girl that he liked on a train, yes, a public train, and start speaking to her. And now he says they are in a relationship and it is going well. So if that kind of thing interests you, or maybe you're just interested in the kind of psychology that, you know, we talk about on these videos, you're going to get a lot of it in depth, including my own experiences and how I kind of came to learn all of this stuff and reach this place myself. You're going to get all those stories within this. It's fantastic. Trust me, it's the best book you're ever going to read in your entire life. I wouldn't put a year of my life into writing something worthless, would I? So, you know, jump in, have fun. You can find it on amazon.com.co.uk, any Amazon, even the Amazon jungle. It's only about $10, I think it's $8.99, something like that, with free shipping. So crack on, have some fun, and, you know, let me know what you think. Till next time, bye.